All right. Well, about to be 10 o'clock, so I think. Welcome, everyone, to a new episode of PlugTalkSports. I'm joined by, once again, Jonka Don't Stop. I'm Brandon Hernandez. And I haven't been on the show for quite some time. I've been doing a lot of traveling stuff. It's great to be back. And as well, I mean, probably the most insane past few days. We got international soccer. We got, new games coming out. And now, of course, the NBA going around and basketball internationally. But, Jonka, before we even jump into it, let's go into the ritual. Let's go around. Good or bad? Which one do you want to go first?
For you finally being back after a while, let's do bad first. We'll finish it off with good.
All right. I'll go first. Bad. I would have to say got a lot of burnt. Very burnt. For those who don't know, I was in Bradenton covering a bunch of games for the Florida Gulf Coast League, a collegiate softball league. And I'm telling you right now, the tan, I don't know if it does justice to the camera.
I see something.
You know what I mean? But it's so off-putting, though, because it's like, it's up here, it's like, in Blanco, and then it's like.
Yeah, with them tank tops, bro. Tank tops.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, so I got to go back to the pool or the beach sometime this weekend. I got to try to adjust myself. Maybe I'll get some sleeves here. But that's probably the bad part about me for this week. What about you, Jonka?
I know we were speaking about it before the show, bro. But I know this is like just happened like 2 hours ago. But that anthem to start off the home run derby, man, I don't know what it is, but why do they let these people sing? It is a disgrace to our national anthem, and I hate it when. Every time that there's a special event and somebody has to sing the national anthem and they get all of a sudden this Grammy Award winning singer quotes.
Yep.
I don't believe it anymore because apparently every person they get is a Grammy Award winner, yet there are artists that I don't never even heard about. But besides that, I would have to say it's worse than Fergie's in the NBA All-Star game. Yeah, I think it's bad, bro.
Look, that could be a whole hour discussion. Fergie, she had like the levels to it. You know what I mean? It's on par though. It's on par of worst all time. I gotta say it's on par.
I think it's worse, bro. Because like apparently the girl that's saying it can actually supposedly sing. Fergie can't really sing. She's more like a rapper, hip hop kind of thing.
Oh yeah, into that one.
So like. It's kind of really bad, especially that you're not really well known. Apparently, Grammy Award winning, but you kind of ruined your spot, bro. I'm sorry for whoever your name is, but you did pretty bad. You ruined it.
Yeah, they got to get someone from The Voice next time. They have to.
My God.
Yeah, but good news for those who have been living under a rock in sports for the past few years, maybe a few days, really. For the first time in 11 years, we can say. A college football video game is back. College Football 25. I just got the deluxe version of it. $99, totally worth the extra 3 days. That's why I got the little coach's cap. And I kid you not, when 4 o'clock hit, I was ready to go. The FIU rebuild is underway. Jenkins is one of the best quarterbacks in the nation as we speak. I'm trying to recruit some guy from like Nebraska or something like that for a defensive tackle. But and this is also another cool thing about the game. You can DM the players like an actual like recruiting coach. So it's at that par. It's at that par where honestly, I think it's the best sports game, at least. Video game sports game ever made. That's what I think.
Oof, best sports game ever made, bro.
I honestly, bro, the simulation wise, and plus they also have the wear and tear. It's that you have to keep up a GPA, Jonka. A GPA in a sports game. Let me know when that ever happens. Blake Griffin wasn't doing that in the NCAA 10. I'm telling you, man.
I won't be able to keep that GP up, even though it's fictional. I can't. I
I'm
hate
telling you,
homework.
this and like 2K14 maybe, but there's just nothing compared to
I
it,
was
man.
gonna say that, bro. Like you
Yeah.
competing with that, man. That's tough to beat. That's tough to beat. But my good of the week, it's gonna have to be me and Daniel. Fortunately, he's not here right now. But we went to Toronto for his birthday, which was on the Saturday. We spent the whole week in Toronto. Great city, loved it. Had never been. We went to Niagara Falls. We went to the vineyards. Super nice. Thank you for inviting me, Daniel and his family. Uh, Great city. I would actually, honestly, Brandon, I would actually live there if I was ever given
Wow.
an opportunity. I would live in Toronto. It
One of
is
those
it's like a cleaner, better New York City,
I get that a lot. I hear that a lot. But like that move to Canada though, I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of maple syrup like that.
bro. The maple syrup candies and Tim Hortons is enough for me.
They got candies of maple syrup.
Bro, if you're in South Florida again, bro, we gotta meet up and I'll bring you some. They're so gas.
I'm here right now. Again, recently grad, officially here, back home. You know. But speaking of which, being back home, we have experienced a lot of things here. And Jock, actually, I want to jump on this one before we jump into the Euros. Two of the biggest international soccer tournaments ended all on one day, Sunday. But I do want to talk about first the one that happened not too far away from us, about 12 minutes away from me at Hard Rock Stadium. Copa America. Colombia on a 28-29 game win streak going against Argentina, the former champions, going to this one trying to defend the title, and the game was delayed
Like
an
three
hour,
times, bro. Like it
three
was
times. It was ridiculous. But so that's what I actually want to talk about before we even jump into the action of the game. Jonka, I mean, you've probably seen the videos. For those who don't know, people bomb raided the gates, started pushing people aside. Kids fell over. There was even a Shih Tzu I saw that was like roaming around the gates for some reason. I don't even think you can bring dogs inside Hard Rock Stadium. It was the most chaotic thing I've ever seen in my life. A venue that has housed events like the Super Bowl, Miami Open, F1, and all it took was a Copa final to just basically break everything. I mean, Jonka, I was just curious about your initial thoughts about that, and this is going to be a venue that's going to see, a World Cup soon.
this. I actually kind of it's really hard to articulate how I feel about this because obviously I'm disappointed at how the Hard Rock Stadium handled the security for this game. You have to think like in the Euro final, I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago, when it was England versus I forgot who else. I think it was France or something like that. Excuse me, I don't know it. I don't remember, but the Eu- the English were like tearing down the fences. They were going nuts, and kind of like the same situation. Like they were bombarding stuff. People were breaking in fights. I listen. This is Miami, so I expected a lot of Colombians, a lot of Argentinians to come down here because it is like an American, South American kind of city already, and a lot of Latinos. So it's kind of like already a soccer city with Beckham and Messi here already. Especially that Messi plays here in Inter Miami. It was gonna be a big game. I knew it was gonna be a big game. I just didn't expect this much. How do you say disregard?
Yeah.
There was there for for this being that big of a final. It was not taking into account how many people were there, but even before the game even started, people were there hours in the heat,
Yeah.
and it was like I think like 95 outside during the day and like 87 at night. It was really hot and humid, and it was I don't know what to say, Brandon. Like it's like I have like disgust on how like me. I'm not a big fan of Hard Rock Stadium. I know besides my Hurricanes play there, but I've always had a bad vibe about that stadium, especially terrible for you. The Dolphins play there.
Yeah.
They broke into that lounge, bro, and destroyed the escalator, the
No, yeah,
glass
not
and
even that.
everything. People going through
Yeah, in the
vents.
72 club.
Yeah, bro.
That
Like
was another thing I was thinking about.
I
Like, how do
was
you
like,
get access to that? I used to work there. I don't even know what that is.
this game with having even Messi there, just having Messi there, and it being a Copa America final, and where Miami is basically I would say the Latin American hub of the United States. You should have expected what you saw. You should have expected that before.
Yeah.
There should have been quadruple the security. There should have been double verification at the gates for your ticket. You show your ticket, and then you're allowed in, and then you scan your ticket. Then you can go in. Anybody that doesn't have a parking pass is not allowed
Yeah.
to then park and tailgate. Anybody else should not be allowed into the stadium. It's that simple. It's just common sense.
Yeah.
How is it that these thousands and thousands and thousands of people were just like I don't know how you say like stampeding into the gates?
Yeah, they just rushed it. They just rushed right in. And I bet
That
you one thing. I bet you a lot of those people just walk from the sidewalks right to the front doors. And, I mean, as I mentioned previously, I used to work there specifically in ticketing. So there's been some events, like, for example, the Super Bowl, or you'll have the security out there like Dan Marino Boulevard or whatever, near the canal as well. That's right there on that street. I mean, the fact that the security was pushed back all the way to the doors, that tells me one of two things. One, CONCACAF and CONMEBOL, they didn't add any more security. They didn't want to add more security, and they left it just for the venue to defend itself off. And in other cases, like F1 as well as the NFL, with Super Bowls or big events, even college football playoffs, they'll have their own people of security or hire a third-party security to add on for that type of, infrastructure. Two, I feel like it was bound to be something like this where it's like, oh, it's Hard Rock Stadium. They've hosted games in the group stage. It'll probably be the same thing. They had as much security as if it was the Miami Hurricanes staying in a Ball State. You know what I mean? Like, it was just ridiculous, the fact that you have all those people coming in. But again, it's, I can't always blame, the staff of Hard Rock Stadium. It's also the fact that there's been people that are just pushing through. And you never know. Some people also have, they get fraud tickets. They start making a commotion, holding up the lines. And from what I've heard from reports, they actually originally opened up the gates around 8:15, 8 something. An hour, if not less than an hour before the match is supposed to start, which is insane as well for an event that big.
Yeah.
2 hours, 3 hours preparation might be also in order. I mean, shoot, you might as well have people coming in at 1 o'clock for a match like this. But it's definitely been horrible to see. I mean, people were like going around. I even saw a video. Somebody brought a ladder to like the southwest gate and started like having people climb over into the southwest.
Yeah, bro.
And people were like who have got $4,000 worth of tickets, never even showing up to their seats, can't even get inside the building at that point. And it's just like, free for all. Hey, you find something, you got it. You find something, you got it. So
it's just like it's like, what are these people? The people that they're just like, how do you say? There are people that paid for their ticket and they weren't allowed in. Thousands of dollars worth of tickets that weren't allowed in because these people were being absolutely selfish, didn't care for the rules. They just flew here from whatever country or state they came from, and then just went in and just kind of screwed over everybody that actually did their fair share, paid their tickets, their flights or whatever it is, and they couldn't attend the game.
Yeah, it was insane.
Now my question is, and I was talking to my stepmom earlier today, and she was saying, what are they gonna do as for like refunds for the people that couldn't get into the games because of that situation?
You know what I think? It can't even just be refunds. You gotta sue at that point. Like if I'm spending like $5,000 on like travel ticket alone, I'm suing if I can't get inside the building. That's a guarantee. I think that Hard Rock, unfortunately, this will be something that we'll learn for the World Cup coming up soon in 2026. But again, this is, I mean, as much as Hard Rock's the fault, I do believe CONCACAF and CONMEBOL, they should have added more things. I mean, there was even a rant from the I believe like the manager for Uruguay that was talking about
Oh,
the fields being unprepared, turf and like things flying off. I mean, I think the United States going to Copa very underprepared venues and as well as just travel and family wise trying to protect the players. I mean, it's definitely been a weird one, but after all that chaos, though, there was a game that was played that night.
yep, sir.
Argentina versus Colombia went to extra time. And that one, I mean, I thought that Colombia was like controlling a lot of the part of the game itself until it's just a guy breaks through, open zone. Martinez gets open and finds himself 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper for a 112th minute goal, making it 1-0, their victory. And the second straight Argentinian victory at Copa America. And as well, for the third time ever, Argentina being a country to win basically 3 back-to-back-to-back national,
Finals.
international titles, and finals, being that of Copa, the World Cup, and then this one.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious because honestly, I think that for Argentina, where exactly is going to be like, is this going to be, a regular thing we're going to see now, or is this going to be like the lend off? Because Di Maria is going to be done after this one. Messi, I can only assume, will be not returning for 2026 FIFA World Cup. But at the same time, they still got people on Argentina. I mean, John, I saw your little reaction there. You think Messi still got a little bit left? You think Argentina has a little bit left?
This is my thoughts. This is for the game itself. I think Colombia had a better first half. I think Argentina had a better second half.
Yep.
And then the extra time, I just think both teams were just exhausted, and things got heated a little bit. But once Messi got hurt, and that ankle was like a balloon, bro. That was
Yeah,
bad. Poor
it was
poor
bad.
guy was crying. He wanted to keep playing, but injuries happen. It's no biggie. But once Lautaro Martinez scored that goal, I kind of knew, yeah, bro. Like Colombia's, like I could see everybody, all the Argentinians cheering in the stands, and all those yellow jerseys were just like standing still.
Yeah,
Like,
just the stone face.
bro, that was just like cold blooded. And then and they had some opportunities, but they couldn't capitalize. But overall, like we saw what this young Argentinian team can play like. It wasn't that bad. But I feel like for what you asked me before I started, I think he does have it, but he would have to come off the bench like a
Mhm.
Modric role, like he does in Madrid,
Yeah, so like more
where
like a veteran leadership going in late.
yeah, like a 60th minute, you put him in 60th, 70th, and he'll play and he'll give you whatever you need, and maybe to make some extra plays that you haven't been getting. That would be lethal.
It
With
would.
Lautaro, Lisandro, and everybody else coming in, that would be really, really good.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah, because I believe that Argentina does have that type of young talent where it could be world class. They'll still be, competing in World Cups and still be getting out group stages with ease. And on the other side, I mean, at least in Copa America terms, there's not a lot of other South American teams I can find that's right next to Argentina at the moment. I mean, again, give all credit to Colombia in this final, right? Especially throughout this
Colombia did
tournament.
really good. Colombia did
But
really.
but again, I just don't know if they can just have the like in the future wise to go back in another Copa and be that team to beat. You know what I mean?
I see what you mean. I really do see what you mean. I mean, I don't know. Probably James will still be there because he's young, but not too young. So
True.
I don't know. But like that's a while from now, bro. And we don't know what could happen. Maybe I don't, bro. It's that's a good question. I don't. That will say though, the one team that I think is a sleeper in Copa America, and I think Daniel is either he's watching or not, is Canada.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
was just in Canada, but I said it before the tournament started that I had seen Canada in the World Cup. They stood out to me, even though they didn't come out the group; they were last, but they really did show me something. In Schaffelberg and Davies, that those two are like crazy. They're doing really good in the MLS and wherever else Davies plays. I
Yeah,
forgot, but they put up a fight. I'm telling you right
they
now, they put up
did.
a fight.
They did. They
And
weren't taking anything from anyone, especially Argentina.
just unfortunately, they went up against Argentina.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost 2-0, but still, you're not. There's no way in soccer you're gonna get guaranteed to score 5, 6 goals a game. So 2-0 is actually pretty
Not
good.
bad.
But yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Now we'll say this Argentina team is not what it was in 2022. If I'm correct, 2022 in the World Cup. I know Daniel. Shout out to Daniel. Says that they're terrible. I said they're not terrible, but they're not what they were in 2022. Things change. People get older. Messi looked. I would say he does his thing. He walks around. He makes his own plays. He does it when he needs to. He's very calculated, but they needed. I think they kind of how would you say they played a bit more aggressive when Lautaro Martinez came in,
Yep.
and they gave him that extra guy that would run it and make some more runs and plays. I'm not gonna say that they played better with Lautaro Martinez, but you could make the argument that they did. I'm not gonna say it.
I'm not even disputing it. I actually agree on that one. I think Martinez, again, there's a lot of guys. Martinez is definitely one of those top 3 guys. I think in the next future we'll see Argentina starting to move around with Messi, slowly getting away from the picture. But yes, with that, Colombia, their streak is done. Argentina now back-to-back title champs in Copa America. And now we go over the pond here to England and Spain. That one in Berlin, Germany. And I got to say, before we even jump into the game, these Euros have been cinema.
Crazy.
Georgia throughout the entire way. Georgia and Turkey in that game, I remember in the knockout stuff, that was incredible. We saw a lot of young guys going through. And speaking of which, Spain with I don't want to say a much newer cast of players, but, and I do apologize, what is it, Yami, the 16-year-old?
Oh, Yamal?
Yeah, Yamal.
Yamal?
Yeah, Yamal, the 16-year-old, during an algebra test going through these Euros. And he's able to get his first ever title as a 16-year-old, winning the Euros final 2-1, Spain on top of England. And that was a game where it was neck and neck until basically the 86th minute goal by a guy's last name I can't even pronounce. But some Oyazabal.
Oh.
Oyazabal. I'm trying my best. Again, I'm Cuban, but my Spanish isn't there. But, Jonka, what's your thoughts initially from this final itself?
Man, I was just astonished by Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal, Carvajal, bro. Like they were just studs, and you could just tell that, bro. Like they dominated that game. I don't care what anybody tells me. Spain dominated that game 100%.
Yeah,
100%. I think it was a 2-1, right? Or was it? Yeah. I mean, besides that goal that England made, which was like really nice, it was low and from outside the box. But besides that, it just didn't feel like England doesn't have that aura. Shout out to whoever created that, but England had no aura, bro. Like
it's a crazy way to put it, but yeah, I mean that is true though. You know what I also felt? I felt like Spain was attacking nonstop through that one,
bro. Nonstop.
Like the English, where you're expecting, like, especially when you got guys like Kane or Shaw or something like that, like they got to be aggressive defensively, offensively. They got to be in your face, but they just weren't like that throughout the entire game.
I've said it and I'll keep saying it. Harry Kane is the reason England can't win. Remove him off the team. He's too old. He doesn't have that captain mentality. He's not that aggressive. He's just there, and he just makes his little appearances. But that's it. He's not that impressive to me. Give Jude Bellingham the captain role. Let him take over, and then let's see what happens from there. Give him some good pieces around him. Let him some passers. That team could be really good if the super old ass Harry Kane would just stop playing on the damn team, thinking that he's going to be the savior of England, which he's not.
Yeah, and not even that. It's also like in his club career, like he goes to Bayern. Even at Bayern, he can't even win anything. It's as crazy as it sounds. I mean, the guy's cursed.
After what we saw in the World Cup and then what we saw in the final, like, what more do you have to see? Like, it's unfortunate. Like, he's not a bad guy. It's
Yeah.
just, buddy, you don't attract wins, you attract L's.
Hmm.
And
As
I'm
Jean-Pierre
sorry,
said,
England.
the aura is not there.
No aura,
It's
bro.
not giving aura. It's not giving. But also, these were actually, I think one of the most interesting parts about it is also the story about the numbers. 16 shots by Spain compared to England's 9. Possession-wise, 66% going to España. Pass accuracy, 77% from England. In just about everything besides fouls, everything's going towards the Spanish.
Of course.
I think that Spain throughout this entire tournament was the dominant team. They were the team to beat.
I agree.
And from them to also beat France, and again, France, very shaky tournament, came into out of group play, not even having an entire goal out of like regular scrimmage.
They only had, I think, one.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. I mean, this is a weird tournament. This was a tournament. Self goals were like the golden boot at the end of the day.
This is why I said that Argentina was not the same. Isn't the same team as they were in 2022. We saw France. They made it back-to-back World Cup finals, and look how they played in this Euro. They did not look anywhere near organized. They looked like defeated, no aura at all. Mbappe, I mean, I know he got hit in the face, so maybe that was the reason why he was dealing with that. I think that fractured nose or that broken nose he had. Maybe that was why he didn't want to be as aggressive. And he wasn't in that penalty kick, so maybe that was another thing that could have been the reason why they lost. But it's Spain they're just so fundamentally sound, bro. They pass, they kill you. They know how to create spaces, create passes, make the runs when they have to. Like they're well coached. Like, what more can you say about Spain, bro? Like, it's just now. They had that little dry spell a couple years since 2010, since they won the World Cup. They've been good, but now we're seeing all these youngsters coming up. Yamal, Nico, my boy Asensio, but I don't know if he played. But it's I'm telling you right now, Spain for this coming World Cup is going to be interesting, and I'm looking forward to that Felicima between Argentina and Spain because I think that's next year, and I'm assuming Messi's going to play for that game. Because Messi did baptize Yamal, and I'm excited to see that. Who wins, the baptizer or the baptized? And that's gonna be the best thing ever.
Yeah, I'm also thinking to myself, like, I mean, Messi can make money off of that. Messi can probably find like some little more advertisement. Just like take the 16-year-old, like, hey man, real quick, that's like $1,000.
Bro, do you know how crazy it would if Messi scores a goal and just goes like this? Oh my god.
Yeah, but knowing now that the international tournaments are now over and we have now gone back to, MLS will be returning. And again, we don't have anything for the Prem or Serie A or nothing like that going on. So soccer kind of in a slump right now. But now it's kind of the most biggest opportunity here for the United States men's national team. Gregg Berhalter, the manager for God knows how long, his tyranny is over. The nightmare is over. Besides, getting out of the group stage in the World Cup and winning a knockout round against Iran, they finally found themselves realizing that, man, you know what? This is probably one of the best group of guys the United States have ever had in talent. Maybe we should probably stretch outside of Copa America and instead of incredible like these random fixtures where we have to go against Mexico to beat Mexico for a random trophy we made up. Maybe we should actually try and go after someone. And this time around, they're going to go after a new head coach, Berhalter, out of the chair. There's a few candidates out there. I know that one of the biggest names out there coming from recently in the news cycle, was it Klopp?
Yeah.
Yeah, Klopp.
I think he declined.
Yeah, Klopp recently declined, and he's mostly known for what he's done in the Premier League with Liverpool. Jesse March with Canada. He's, I don't know why I can't talk today. I mean, again, I've been going crazy back and forth. But March also declined from what I've heard from reports, or at least is going to be favoring the Canadian side instead of his home American side. There's only so many candidates left, but it's honestly not looking like anyone's really jumping on this U.S. team, which is kind of shocking me. I mean, with such talent as well as the resources that the United States have at their arsenal for any type of manager, or as Gafford, as it would say, over the pond, why wouldn't you want to take that job? I mean, I hate to say it as it is. We might have an MLS coach jumping into the position. I mean, but Jonka, do you think of anybody specific at the moment that would potentially be the best option at the moment?
I do. And I know people could possibly say no, but I think Steve, excuse me if I say this wrong, Sharondolo, he's the head coach for LAFC. LAFC has been really good in the MLS. They're sound. I haven't seen any hiccups from them. They've been really good every single year. I think they've won multiple championships, if I'm correct. He knows the US. Let me see if I'm reading this correctly. He was a right back and he was the captain of Hannover 96 of the German Bundesliga. So he's played overseas. To be honest, I don't see why he would be a bad pick. You know, you can give him a try. Like, if you don't like him, then obviously you just kick rocks. But LAFC is really good. But I know I would expect whoever is making these decisions for hiring to pick somebody that could use this team to its full potential. I know Gregg Berhalter did not do that for sure, 100%. But there's a lot of young guys on this team, and you do have Captain America, who wants to win. Obviously, you could tell that he really, really does want to put USA on the map.
No, I mean the entire roster is fighting to win, besides Rania. But
and you could just tell, bro. Like when they were playing Bolivia, I think, or Panama or something. I forgot which game it was. It was just pathetic.
Yeah, the Panama game. Let me tell you, I don't know what it is. I think Panama always has our number. I mean, Panama had us in the 2018 World Cup qualifiers. And then now they have us in the group stage and both of the goals they scored, Panama, that was just ricochets here and there. They're lucky to find in front of the goal.
Yeah.
And especially with Turner getting, himself injured during that game and dealing with injury going against Uruguay. And then you find yourself Tim Way, basically getting red card early out of nowhere. Like, it was just a bad mishap. But at the end of the day, it's not excuses. It's why is this even happening to the U.S., especially at home soil? This is the first time ever that the United States has hosted a Copa America, whatever tournament, and not gone through a group stage. 20 times this has happened before. This, the 20th time, is the first time that happened.
It's just really sad, bro. Like, we should, with a country of over 350 million people, you would think that you would have the talent to at least compete against these countries that aren't even close to your size, and then they're beating you. Now, I know that doesn't really factor in, like, it's not like
like culture-wise, athletic-wise, facilities, all that.
But I think the U.S. is gonna have to start looking at what is it that these countries do for soccer or football, wherever you live, and why is it that they're producing better talent than we are? And I think it's because in America, soccer is pay to play and not free to play.
Yeah.
Anywhere you else go in South America or in Europe, you walk onto a pitch and you're welcome to play for free. To go into an academy, you just go. If you're not good enough, they'll kick you out. If you're good enough, you stay. But here, you gotta take out a damn $50,000 tuition just to play for a low ball academy.
Yeah, does even do travel,
it doesn't. That system needs to be changed, bro. You see how good we are at basketball here. You can go to any park around in this country and you can play basketball for free. But when it comes to soccer, you can't do that.
Can't.
You can't.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It really is. And honestly, I think that's like something that is, you got it right on the dot right there. Because it's also about how affordable is it. You know what I mean? Like any other country, especially in Europe, where you have all these star athletes and incredible talent, they all started going competitiveness through, like academies, then clubs, and we don't even have that competition wise soccer. We have, in the MLS, the worst team, they just go against the other teams in the MLS. Yep. I mean, hell, even the lower division, the USFL and all that stuff. We don't even want to play in the Hunt Trophy or the Hunt Tournament and all that. We want to go to the Leagues Cup that we made just a year ago. And that's what again, opening the segment for this one. United States national team playing in the nation's, whatever they want to call it, the Nations League Cup against Mexico like every 2 years. What is that? And then this Leagues Cup that the MLS just made. Right when Messi joined Inter Miami, it's all a lot of money stuff. It's not even competitive. And that's the one thing I hope that this move for a new manager will do. Brings in competitiveness, brings in some sort of competition where he wants to go against friendlies against Portugal or whoever, wants to go against. So that's why I think that there's only two options. I think right now that'll be a reliable thing. And of course, the Canada you mentioned before, LAFC, great right there. But I honestly want to see someone with international experience. One name, actually a name that we talked about recently, the Spanish manager, Luis de la Fuente. I might be butchering that name. I apologize. Either way, Luis is apparently reported interested in the U.S. men's job. This was reported about a day ago by Fox Sports. It's also picked up some things in Washington Post. And honestly, if we have a recent success for our successor, that would be huge. That would be probably the biggest win the U.S. can get for soccer.
Man, I don't know, bro. Like, it's just that, yes, the Spaniard system does work. It does work. But will it work here because of how we run our country and how they want to perceive, I don't know how to say it, but like, will they let him coach the team the way the Spaniards do it?
Yeah.
And it would be a culture shock for the players. It would be because that's not how they play. And I don't know if that would be a fit. It would be a really nice hire, but it would have to be like more like a project hire than it is like a immediate effect.
Yeah, immediate success. I don't know, because again, the international success though, I think that does like gonna orchestrate into what we can find. Again, we got plenty of time to the World Cup, 2 years span, and we're not experiencing any like major tournaments in the way for the United States to kind of like change focus here. Mm-hmm. I think that Luis would be like a huge addition, would bring in a culture, as you said before, a culture shock that would probably renovate with like a lot of the players to revamp themselves as a United States men's national team member. And I also think that the only thing I would probably say will be a struggle though is just because we're playing in the Western Hemisphere. With European style, especially like as you said before, the Spaniards, it works, how they are able to. We've gone through a whole Copa America, and we've seen guys literally fight on the pitch. 10 cards a game average, just about, through some groups. That's the only thing I have about Luis. Whereas, like, if he was to go to the United States, yes, he would bring the success. Yes, I think he would bring able to, move some things around that organization. But against, let's say, Uruguay or Venezuela, like, is he going to be able to, like, man, these guys are literally beating the living crap out of us. What are we going to do? You know what I mean? So, in the sense of Western Hemisphere guys, you know what? I have a wild card one. It's a real one though. Tata leaves Inter Miami if Inter Miami doesn't have a successful few years, if not after the season, if offered the United States men's national job. Tata, who has been through 2 campaigns as an MLS head coach, so far technically successful with Atlanta and then as well winning a Leagues Cup with Inter, would go on to be the guy who had success early in his career with Mexico. Now, familiar with, the region, familiar with the competition, and also the expectations of what it is, he would be there in that seat. I think it will be possible. Wild
I
card,
don't
but I
hate
think
it, but I don't love it. That's the thing for me. I don't hate it, but I don't love it because I don't know if it's for me, but I think Tata Martino is only carried by the people that are on his team. If Messi wasn't on Inter Miami, the team would not be in first place or second place, whatever it is right now. And not gonna lie, it's a bit sus. Man, the one thing I'm just concerned about the USA men's national team is in 2 years from now, when the World Cup begins, it's in North America technically, but
yeah,
you don't want to choke. You don't want to, at least going out to good teams in the group stage is like I understand that, but you don't want to go out like that, bro.
yeah, no, it's true. I
At
think.
least,
I mean, you at least got to get out the group stage.
bro.
That's my expectation, at least, getting out the group stage. Whatever that group is, if it's a group of death, like, FIFA's got something out for the United States. There's no other way to say it.
The thing is that it's random, though.
I know, but I'm just saying, if it's like a U.S., okay, England, Germany, I'll like stop the count.
Argentina.
Stop the count. But
Bro, I'll walk out of my house right now and cry.
And I'm telling you right now, I'm saving up all my money for a World Cup match to watch here in Miami, man.
Facts.
I'm saving everything. And hopefully, again, the United States won't be playing, from what we know, they're playing in the West Coast when the World Cup does come. But hopefully we'll be seeing a new manager and a good one by that when that time comes around during group stage in the World Cup 2026. So Berhalter again out. New ones are coming in. But let's now let's stay around the United States.
But
let's
one
switch
thing.
sports. Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead.
Before we go.
All right.
The Olympics are gonna start, and I'm wondering who we have to have a coach before the Olympics start. So I'm assuming there's gonna be an announcement made before the Olympics start. So I'm just gonna let that be out there. So
okay, so some little teaser maybe in the Olympics.
Foreshadowing.
A little foreshadowing. And actually that is, I actually like that because we get in segue. Switching sports, same US, but this time going to the Olympics. The U.S. men's national team for men's basketball.
Yeah.
As an American, as a basketball head, as a guy that claims to know ball, I might not. Either way, the U.S. basketball program is one of the most biggest things I will go around glazing every single way I go. I kid you not, this roster is incredible. They brought back LeBron James for the first time since 2012. They brought back that FIBA U.S. team that, again, wasn't successful. They brought the good pieces, though. Anthony Edwards is now back. Tatum is now back for another Olympic run, his second. KD is now back. AD is now back. Devin Booker is there. And just about everyone you expect. And also newcomers like Tyrese Halliburton. The weirdest thing, though, is the fact that Kawhi Leonard, this is a guy that's healthy, technically, who has been out for the entire time, especially during the postseason for the Clippers, goes into camp healthy as well, decides last second, literally the day before their first exhibition against the Canadians, Team Canada, decides like, hey, me and the Clippers and Team USA think it's best that I don't show up. Goodbye. The next day, he goes to a club with Paul George, is seen out there partying like as if it's like another day. And again, these are no longer teammates as well. Paul George leaving to go to Philadelphia. So this is, okay, so what does the U.S. do? There's not a lot of commitment from Kawhi. They get themselves the ball-headed, weird smile kid, Derrick White, from the Boston Celtics. 25% of the Boston Celtics, my apologies, 25% of the United States men's basketball team is Boston Celtics. It is the most green I've ever seen on a U.S. roster ever in my life. And there's also some controversy with that. I mean, Derrick White, there was some speculation that he might have not been the best option, especially with guys like Jaylen Brown, who just recently won a Finals MVP.
True.
And he went to Twitter as well with some, subliminal messages talking about, and this and that, your source. And Grant Hill, who is the basically the guy that runs everything for U.S. men's basketball as of right now, said that he's building a team. And so they thought the Derrick White move was best for building a team. Jonka, I was kind of curious from your tape because we talked about it a little bit before going on. Derrick White, a good option, but is it the best option?
Listen, nothing against the Celtics, obviously, but would I have chosen Derrick White on the U.S. Olympic team? No. Out of everyone in the NBA, you mean to tell me you couldn't find one player better than Derrick White? Like, let's cut it. Let's cut the BS.
Yeah.
Now, where you said Jaylen Brown didn't make the team, am I correct?
Yep.
Didn't he just win Finals MVP?
He sure did. Actually, recently at the ESPYs, won Best Championship Performer in the ESPYs. So, two players on the same team as him, winning that same title, are on the roster for the United States men's national team. He is not. For me personally, I think he got snubbed. This is an all-around one of the best two-way players in the entire NBA, getting snubbed off.
Yeah, bro. I don't know who's in charge of making these rosters, bro, but they have something against them, because there's no way you choose Derrick White. Nothing against him again, but Jaylen Brown, to me, was the best player in the finals. How do you not put him in the roster? Yeah. Like, okay, can you give me the roster? Because
yeah, I got it right on the top of my head. So again, opening it up, Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, Derrick White, the 3 Celtics, Devin Booker somehow starting on this roster, Anthony Edwards, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry, AD, and believe it or not, Joel Embiid.
That's the whole roster?
That's the whole roster. Yeah.
Okay. Would you tell me why Paolo Banchero is not in the team?
He is, in a weird way, his nationality is odd, similar to like Joel. He's technically Italian. He's also technically American, and that's at the same time though. We're talking about a guy going off of his second year.
Okay. Let me see. I'm trying to find somebody. Who else? I'm not gonna include Kyrie after that atrocious performance he had. Zion Williamson.
That's gonna be a no-show.
That would be crazy.
It would be crazy. Him and Edwards would be an insane TV,
bro.
Like, insane TV to watch.
Because when Zion's on the court, bro, no one's stopping that bulldozer, bro. And especially with his athleticism and his rebound and his efficiency, I think him being around those guys would actually elevate his game a little bit, especially being around Steph and LeBron. He could take it the next step, but that's just me. Man. Obviously, Wemby's in France. I don't know. I would have preferred a young guy. I know Jaylen Brown would have been the perfect pick for me instead of Derrick White, but I just don't agree with it being Derrick White. I don't know why that sits with me, but I feel like you could have chosen anybody, like somebody a little bit better than Jaylen.
Like someone that can at least compete for a starting role in this roster. You know, it was one name I thought about.
DeJounte Murray, is he Canadian or is he American?
Murray is Canadian. Oh wait. Oh, DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte for that left Atlanta.
Oh, that's in the Pelicans. No, he's American. He's American.
Bro.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Jamal there. But I wouldn't even mention Murray and why I honestly would put White over him. But you know what's a name I thought about immediately besides Jaylen Brown? Donovan Mitchell.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
Again, we're talking about, I'm thinking like a guy that can do everything, right? Derrick White, obviously his role as a point defensively, a hawk on all levels. But Donovan Mitchell expands the game a little bit, spreads the floor. He can also handle the ball if needed.
Yep.
But I think they need more two guards than they are point guards at this level. Because Stephen Curry is obviously going to be there. Drew Holiday is obviously going to be there. Tyrese Halliburton, let me tell you, through 2 exhibition games, Halliburton has been the point god for the United States. I mean, the guy has just been insane, though. I'm looking at his stats sometimes. I mean, the guy had actually recently where the United States beat Australia earlier today. I think it was 98-92. Halliburton had 2 clutch 3-pointers in the corner when they couldn't buy a bucket while Australia was on a 10-0 run.
Oh, yeah, they were on crack.
Yeah, and again, give all the credit where it's due. Australia, the Boomers, really great. At the same time, the United States were up 24 at one point in that game. So, I mean, Tyrese has been great, but if they had Donovan Mitchell, where he's able to go alone in stride on these runs offensively and take it just inside, I think that would have been incredible for them. I think the United States team itself, the roster, and especially through 2 games, I can tell you right now, Joel Embiid is not going to be having a great time in the Olympics.
Nope.
The guy is slow. He's already fouled out. Believe it or not, Jonathan, he's already fouled out one of these games. And guess how? Trying to bait people for fouls.
It ain't going to work. International basketball is different.
It's not going to work in FIBA, man. It's not going to work. And I think their next game as well is going to go against, I think, Serbia, if I'm not mistaken, which I believe is Jokic out there. So,
Jesus.
Yeah, they're going to need it.
That's a walking cheat code.
Yeah.
Jokic is a cheat code. And I think they have Jovic, or did he get injured?
I'm not too positive. He might have been injured. I believe so. But before we even leave the U.S. part of our entire conversation, we've been talking all Americans. But going to the Olympics, though, for basketball, early as it is, Olympics not starting until like later on in August, is there a team out there that can match up or if not challenge the men's basketball team for the United States? I only think of one, and one only specifically. I was curious about you.
I think Canada would be the only team.
I
know Australia did have a scare, but it's because USA did have a shooting drought. But that's hardly ever going to happen again. But no, yeah, I think it's Canada. I do think it's Canada.
Yeah, I like that pick too. I mean, Dylan Brooks and obviously Murray, and then you have yourself Shy. But, and Kelly Olynyk, you never know. Olympic Kelly Olynyk is a different animal, let me tell you.
That's my boy right there.
But what I really think about is the French national team. I think because they are, I think the most interesting part about it, the French are in probably the most toughest group I've ever seen in my life. There were Germany, there were Canada, and there's some other team that's not even going to get close to any of those 3. For the French, with Wembanyama going to his first Olympics, Rudy Gobert, Evan Fournier, and then you also have, the other guys who are coming into the NBA recently. I think one of them, his name is I forgot how to pronounce it correctly, but
Alex Sarr?
Sarr's not going into this one. But it's Kulibi or something like that from Washington.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So they do have a really young, active roster that I think is going to be very impressive and fun to watch throughout this summer. But we're in our last 7 minutes of the show here. Time nearly running out. We have to talk about our spew here, as feels like an annual thing. Pat Riley, the Miami Heat this offseason. It's been a very sluggish offseason. We have not seen any trades. We have not seen any big market moves coming towards the Heat's way. A lot of rumors, though. Rumors about moving around with Jimmy Butler. Rumors around about potentially getting Donovan Mitchell, which, of course, did not come to fruition. Mitchell re-signing with the Cavs for multiple years, which was honestly a shock to me compared to whatever reports were going out from Shams and Woj and whoever was out there during the free agency. But, Jonka, I know that this is a very dear discussion in your heart. For as long as I've known you, you and Pat Riley have not had the type of connection that one should have with their favorite team owner. Jonka, the floor is yours in these last few minutes.
Bro, listen. It was just before we even started the show, bro. Seth Curry, bro. Seth Curry his Steph Curry's brother signs with the Hornets, bro. You mean to tell me that we couldn't get rid of some nobody on our bench for Seth Curry after losing Martin?
Yeah.
Let me calm down, bro. Let me calm
Yeah.
down, bro.
Oh, and I know you want to calm down, but I also want to make this another thing that I just thought was insane. They offered Caleb Martin $65 million on a contract, and he went up to Philadelphia for less years and less money. That was something I was not even. That was a left out of the ballpark. I was not expecting that one at all.
For that, Martin, you can screw yourself. Traitor. I just know that this guy he's just fake. He does not want to work for it here in down Miami. That's okay. Those are just called losers. Watch how the 76ers don't win anything either. So I know it's a stretch.
I'm gonna have to clip that. I'm gonna have to clip that for later on down the line. Later down the line, can we get a guarantee though, Joshka?
Man, I don't know, bro. Maxi, PG-13, Embiid, Martin.
It's a dirty squad.
And I forgot who else they got. I forgot who else. I forgot that they got somebody else that they're stacked. But I'm just kind of, like I said this a couple weeks ago, but I'm just really concerned, bro. Like, we couldn't get Kyrie, we couldn't get KD, we couldn't get Donovan Mitchell, we couldn't get this guy, we couldn't get that guy. Well, rumors here, rumors there, rumors everywhere, and yet nothing is being done. We overpaid Hero, we're overpaying Duncan. To me, we overpaid Jimmy Butler. I hate to say it, but
yeah,
I think
that could also be extended as well as they look for an extension probably throughout next year.
From what I heard, that Pat Riley in the Jimmy Butler contract extensions, he wants to see more from Jimmy, and I do agree with that from Pat Riley's side, that I need to see more from Jimmy, especially in the regular season, because I'm quite tired of being the 8th, 9th, or 10th spot and having to play in the play-in, and then either in the first game of the second or the second game of the play-in. I'm really tired of being in that situation, bro. Like, I'm dead ass.
Yeah. As a Celtic guy, I always tell everyone, you shouldn't be all confident as the 8th seed. And again, it's incredible to see teams have success despite not even knowing that they should have been having success since May or whatever, going up to NBA final appearances in the last 5 years. The Miami Heat, I feel like right now, Pat Riley, I think he knows and he understands the situation. So the only thing he can do is in the draft. And that's probably the most successful part of this entire offseason, I think, for the Miami Heat, where they got themselves aware of Indiana, an elite rebounder, has been honestly putting up incredible numbers throughout his entire summer league. Crazy. And recently, I mean, what was it, like Christopher, whatever his name was?
Josh Christopher.
Christopher, yeah, there you go. Christopher, 20 points in the fourth quarter alone earlier today in the summer league. I mean, the guys in the Miami Heat have been balling out, and including Zion Pullen, Florida Gator.
Yep.
Right? Cover him a little bit. So pretty excited to see that. Hopefully he gets the jersey. See, I want to buy a lot of Heat jerseys. I would buy a Zion Pullen Heat jersey. I would definitely buy that. But I think that everything that Pat Riley's doing right now is just because he understands Pat. He understands exactly what it is that he needs.
Let me give you an example. If he doesn't win it this year, and every single year after that, each team that we go up against is getting better, even in the West, and all the young teams like Detroit, Toronto Raptors, they're gonna keep getting better through the draft or trading, whatever. And let's say Pat Riley continues to fail and not get players that meet the standard of talent. I'm not thinking about, like, because I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me say this. I'm tired of these undrafted players, bro.
Yeah.
I'm tired of these nobodies that have basically just didn't meet the talent wise. That's why they weren't drafted. Unfortunately, I mean, they're not saying they're not talented, but you're not a first round pick, buddy.
Yeah, you're not going to be influencing the roster day one.
Like, the reason the Heat were able to win in 2006 was because they drafted a star player, superstar player in Dwayne Wade, carried that team on his back and won it against the Dallas Mavericks. Then LeBron shows up and teams up with Bosch, and then they win. Ever since then, we haven't had a star player. Jimmy Butler, yes, we've made the finals twice, but we've been too small to even compete. Unfortunately, yeah, in 2020, we had those injuries and stuff, but still, it was going to be really difficult for us to win against LeBron and AD. And then we got undermanned against the Nuggets and Jovic and Michael Porter and everybody else.
Yeah, it's just like entirely one side at that point. And John, when you're talking about, the Heat former championships, I mean, Shaquille O'Neal joined on to that 06 roster, and that was obviously a ring. So for Pat Riley, again, as I said before, he's doing a lot of good things in the draft, right? Young guys, Jaquez, Bam, like the guys who are originally Heat players have been phenomenal for the past few draft classes. But history does repeat itself, and it did twice for the Miami Heat, where you go into free agency, get a big splash in free agency, and it leads to a chip. So they haven't been able to do that, and I don't know if they'll be able to do that.
I think if it doesn't work out this year with Jimmy Butler, if Jimmy doesn't show some sort of, some sort of spark that looks good to Pat Riley, I think he's out. I think he's going to get traded or he's booted out.
Well,
he's not getting a contract.
There was rumors, and he could be unrestricted free agent pretty soon. It's possible.
I wouldn't be surprised because I'm getting really tired of his antics, bro. Taking horse rides through Wynwood, bro. I'm tired of that. Give me a ring.
You guys, people talk about Jason Tatum being a corny guy, but he ain't over here with the Fall Out Boy music video here. So,
bro, Jimmy Butler not better show up to the photo shoot with like a different hairstyle this year, bro.
Yeah, and again, media day coming up around the corner probably. But for now, we're going to keep a close eye on Summer League. International play for soccer is done. We're going to keep a close eye on the United States and the Olympics coming soon. Again, that's all the time we have here with Plug Talk Sports. Again, Jonka, don't stop. I'm Brandon. Thank you again for another episode. We'll be back next Monday, and thank you for tuning in.
Support the troops.